Welcome to this Mastery Empowerment course from New Earth One Network. This is designed exclusively for your higher self connection and embodiment. Welcome to this Mastery Empowerment course. We are excited to be with an incredible healer. She is the founder of the International Chronic Pain Institute. Debora Wayne is here to tell us today why we don't heal no matter what we try. She's here to help us get through all of these blocks. Debora, welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. Hello, everybody. So happy to be here with you all today.
Yes, this is incredible work because you have found a technique, you've developed a technique. It is a high-speed energy healing technique, and this is something that you've developed by working with your clients. Can you share how this was developed and why you saw the great need for it?
So over 30 years ago, my health crashed and burned. And I had what I call the closet crisis, where I woke up one day lying on the floor of my closet and I was in pain from head to toe and I couldn't get dressed and I couldn't stop crying and I couldn't go to work and I couldn't function, fake it till you make it one more day. And I was out of ideas and out of willpower. And I was full of anxiety and feeling depressed and literal physical pain, and it had been going on far too long. And that day I screamed out to a God that I did not believe in at the time. And I said, if there's anything out there, I need help. And I'm here to tell you, I had a very transformative experience where immediately the entire closet and myself, I was surrounded in a bubble of peace that I can't even describe in words. It was profound. And I immediately stopped crying. I immediately felt safe. And I heard everything's going to be okay. And I went on a healing journey from that day forward. I thought it was the worst day of my life. It turned out to be the complete turning point. And it led me down a path that led me here today. First, everything in my life changed, like literally everything. And I ended up doing some very important things. Number one was meditation. And I started to have a series of experiences where it was revealed to me that the whole universe is filled with life force energy. And I could feel it flowing through me and coming out my hands. And I began this intuitive instruction, receiving information about how this was going to be used first to help me and then to help others, and that I had a purpose here, a mission here. And I thought, oh my God, people are going to think I've gone crazy. But really, it's been the most remarkable thing that's ever happened to me. And I did end up going back to school and tiptoed around this for quite a few years because I had to work on myself and getting rid of the fears and the doubts and the worries and what will people think of me. And that was the hardest work to do. But once I got clear enough, I realized this is what I came here to do. And I put my stake in the ground and I've never looked back. And I've been able to help literally tens of thousands of people all around the world. Of course, over the years, it has improved I've been able to refine my sensitivity and my wisdom about, from working with so many people, I've really dove deeper into their mind and their emotions and their energy field. And I was able to put together a very thorough, I won't even call it a technique, I'll just call it a way, a path that is thorough, and it's fast and it's safe and it's relaxing. And it really, really has worked for tens of thousands of people. And that's the short version. It's been a long journey, but it's, been remarkable. And I don't regret a thing.
Well, we thank you for being courageous and bold and taking on that mission, that purpose that you're here. What an incredible journey to go through something like that. We could say it's a dark night of the soul. You did it with just this incredible pain.
Yeah.
So, what did you learn from that? How did you wrap your head around the pain? Were you able to identify the cause, or did it just leave and you're like, I'm on to something else? I mean, I'm on to feeling good.
No, I mean, yes and no. It was kind of both together. I felt this deep, deep peace and knowing that I was going to be okay. But I also knew there was work to do. And oh boy, there was. And I have learned so much over the years. I discovered there really are 13 key reasons for hidden reasons that will never show up on a medical test, which was part of my dilemma. I had gone to doctors for decades. They could either find nothing on a medical test, or they'd say, oh, we found this, take this, do this, and it wouldn't work. And when that happens, it is the most frustrating thing in the universe. So yes, I began to discover what these deeper hidden reasons are. And for me, the key thing that I learned was that I was in deep emotional pain and I was completely out of touch with my emotions. So I couldn't fix anything because they were buried so deep, and I was such a good actress and I had them hidden so well, even from myself. So Loren, I was stuck. I just kept performing and getting up and getting dressed and going to work. And, I was raised with this idea that if you're working, everything's fine. Well, that couldn't be further from the truth. I had a big 4-bedroom home in Scottsdale, a handsome husband, a new BMW in the garage, all the clothes and stuff a girl could ever need and more. And I was miserable, emotional wreck, living on pills, alcohol, overeating, over everything, and in physical pain. Now, something's wrong with that picture.
So it was the physical pain that was leading you to the
Yes.
awakening process.
Correct.
The baggage that you had to leave behind.
Yeah.
We've heard this question many times. How do we know when we still have baggage? Well, when we're in physical pain.
Right.
So,
Right.
so it's the emotions. This is really amazing that we really literally stuff our emotions down.
Yeah.
Were these emotions, and then you did the cleanup work. Then you
Yes.
started your journey to do the cleanup work, because we can't
Yes.
carry that forward.
Right.
So in that cleanup work, were you finding that it was emotions that all along your life that you were stuffing away? Or is it even beyond that, into past lives and other lives? Did you get that deep?
Very good question. So it's actually a combination, I've discovered, of 3 things. Number 1, our thoughts begin the process typically where, we grow up in a fishbowl in an environment where we hear things, we're told things, we're taught things, we go to schools, we have caregivers, and we're collecting data as to what is true. And this forms the foundation of how we view the universe, how we feel about ourselves, what we think about everything. So we have to look at the thoughts, because the thoughts always generate an emotional reaction. And then whether it's present life or past life, or our mother's thoughts, or the teachers or the babysitter, it doesn't matter. We take in, our brain's like a computer, a brand new computer with no virus protection. And we're just taking in the files saying, yes, yes, dump more in here. And they're just critical to the future, but it's usually decades later that when we get in so much pain or there's a crisis or something we can't handle, that we even think about examining those thoughts. Now, like I said, the thoughts generate an emotional reaction. So this is the second key piece of the puzzle. We live in a world that says, sit still, always be happy, everything's fine, and don't you dare bring anger, fear, guilt, shame, sadness. Like, don't bring that here. It's unprofessional. You're going to look weak. Boys never do it. Grow up. So we live in an intellectual culture that says head over heart. So this poor mechanism is just going in all kinds of sideways directions and typically underground. And then it comes out sideways with symptoms. And we wonder why we can't stop eating when we're not even hungry, can't stop shopping or gambling or sexing or whatever it is. So those two, the thoughts and then the emotions, lead us to go round and round in this revolving door that we can't get out of on our own. We keep trying to figure it out with the same thoughts that are making us go round and round. Now, the third area, which is relatively new on the scene on planet Earth, is the energy field. It's not new, it's ancient, but we're finally paying attention to it, as you well know. Thank God, because it's the most rapid way to find everything, whether it's current life or past life or your mother's stuff. It's all imprinted in the energy field, everything that's ever happened to us. This field is like a recording device. And I can find that for you in about 20 seconds flat, if not sooner. And these are where the disturbances are, along with all the wonderful things that have happened. But it's the disturbances that have disrupted everything, including the body. And this is where it comes first. In the invisible realm, this is the precursor to the physical realm. Whether it's your physical health, your finances, your romances, it's all the same. It's imprinted first in the invisible, and then it shows up in the physical body or the physical life. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. And so as you're working with your clients in this really fast method,
Yeah.
what's going on?
Yeah.
It's almost like you're dissecting their thought patterns, or you can pick up on it. It's more than that, though, because you said you're reading the energy field.
So I'm able to scan a person's field, whether it's in person or at a distance, including a group of unlimited size, by the way, but everyone gets individual results. I scan the field like an MRI machine would, and I can feel where the disturbances are. And I bring in a very wide bandwidth of healing frequencies that come in from the cosmos. These are healing frequencies, and you will resonate with the ones you need to harmonize your field. And so there's a dance, a communication taking place between the cosmic frequencies, the healing frequencies, myself as the conduit for these, and then a conversation, a quantum conversation via the field. And it literally talks to the cells of the body and the mind and the emotions. And it works simultaneously on all levels at the same time. So some people have very dramatic awarenesses. Some people have emotions come up. Some people have past life memories or present life memories. Some people just have pure change and they don't remember a thing. They don't feel a thing. They get it in observer mode. It's quite different for each person, but you can't block it and you can't stop it. And what's really cool is you don't even have to believe in it for it to work.
Yeah, now that's interesting.
Yeah.
It's like we're getting a transmission from the cosmos.
Yeah.
So your intentions, this is the healer that you are, your intentions are bringing in these frequencies. It's like, I guess we could call it scalar energy
Yes.
as well. And it knows what to do, doesn't it?
Completely. We could talk about it in different ways, but the words I use typically is there's a divine intelligence that's everywhere present. And all that empty space we see is not empty. It's filled with a presence, an intelligence. It knows what you need. It knows what I need, knows what everyone needs. And I've cleared out enough of my disturbances over the years to be able to be a rather pure conduit for all these frequencies to help other people get the leg up they need until they can hold a higher state of consciousness on their own. So it's not really a technique like Reiki where you touch different points on the body and you clear chakras and all this. It's quite different. It's just literally me bringing in for you the frequencies you need, and then helping you to harmonize your instrument. And literally, it's like tuning up a guitar. And then you go back, you're not lacking anything. You go back into the natural state, which is not dis-ease, it's ease. Dis-ease is unnatural. Our natural state is perfect, whole, and complete all the time. And we've just become separated from that awareness and that experience.
And you mentioned that you, at the time when you were going through your healing chronic pain in the closet, that you didn't really believe in God in the way that you do. And now that's totally different and changed.
Oh my goodness, nothing's changed more than that. It went from being something that I just thought was ridiculous, quite frankly, and I thought it was for people who were weak and that just couldn't figure things out on their own. Oh, couldn't be further from the truth. The truest strength, the greatest strength is when you understand we are one with, we can merge with the omniscience, the omnipresence, and the omnipotence that exists everywhere. And that we're actually part of that, one with that. And then real power flows through. And it's not just me relying on my personality and what I learned from a book or my, my intellect, which thank goodness, because you saw how far that got me. And it just, nothing could be further from the truth. It's now the one most important, call it a goal if you want, but it's to continue that conscious contact with the power that I call God. You could call it love, divine mind, divine intelligence, the 0 point field. If you're into science, it's not religious. Don't get me wrong. And I know that word God triggers a lot of people. That's not how it's not religious, what I'm talking about. It's a presence, a power. And it actually interacts with us in a personal way and a universal way. That's what's so remarkable. It's universal, just a force like electricity, but it also cares about you and you and you and me and you in a personal way and will help us if we call on it and contact it and develop that relationship.
Those are the key words: call on it and connect with it and develop that relationship. As you were speaking there, I could feel that connection. It is quite beautiful.
Mm.
Is this a good time to do a little mini experiment with for everyone? Because we can do it for the group. And like I said, I've already felt it, but this is really wonderful to share with everyone.
Absolutely. I would love to do a short demo. And even in short demos, people often have healing results. So happy to share that. So I want to say to everyone first, no driving and no operating equipment or cooking or anything. You want to be in a safe space, sitting or lying down. Lying down's great if you can do that, because many times your body might start to literally release holding patterns of stress and tension. And you want to give yourself the freedom to move if that should happen. So find a comfortable place and close your beautiful eyes and take the deepest breath you've taken all day so far. And then open your mouth and let out a sigh and exaggerate your exhale now. Relax your low belly and breathe into your low belly and draw that breath up, up, up into your beautiful heart. And then exaggerate a long exhale. And do that again, relaxing, breathing into the low belly. And then up, up, up. And a deep sigh. And let go of everything you think you know about your health, your life. Just breathe it out. As you breathe in again, take in new life, new possibilities, new energy. And exhale the old stale air and ideas out. Good. Now, as you continue to breathe, just breathe normally and naturally now at a pace that's comfortable for you. Just breathing in and out through your nose, the way you normally breathe. And I want you to, as you listen to the sound of my voice, remember to let me do all the work. I want you to let me do all the work. Do not try to help me in any way. Do not try to practice some technique. Just begin to observe your experience. Notice what's happening inside and around your body. And I also want you to remember to let your body move. If it starts to move involuntarily, or if you feel like moving at any time in any way, follow that urge to move. You may move a lot, you may move a little, you may not move at all. Remember, there's no right or wrong, and you cannot do this wrong. And you cannot block the healing frequencies. So I want you to relax your mind about all of this and let me do the work. And you begin to observe what's happening. You may begin to notice different sensations in your body or around your body. You may notice the temperature change. It can change quite a lot, and you might feel cold or hot or both together. You may notice pressure in your head. Remember, you're perfectly safe. No harm can come to you. Even if you notice pain coming up, I want you to let it come up because it's your energy pattern coming up and moving out. Let it come up. You might begin to notice, even with your eyes closed, that you start to see something like colors, shapes, images. Just look at what you see, even if it makes no sense. You may notice sounds, voices, words, music, tones. Just listen, even if it makes no sense. You may have thoughts come into your mind, and I want you to let them come up, even if you don't like the thoughts. This is part of the process as well. And you may have emotions bubble up. Let them come up. Remember, it's just energy, and it's trying to move, and it will release if you allow it to come up. There's nothing to stop or fight or figure out or fix. Please let whatever is happening happen without trying to change it or control it in any way, even if it's uncomfortable. Remember, it's energy moving up and moving out. Now, if it seems like nothing's happening, that's okay too. Sometimes that's exactly what needs to happen. It may get very quiet inside you. Remember, you can't do it wrong. And if you find yourself thinking, I wonder if I'm imagining things and making it up, that's okay too. Just notice you're thinking that. Whatever happens, let it happen. Observe it, be with it. Do your best to soften and relax into it and allow it to come up without trying to change it or stop it or fix it or figure it out. And without judging anything as good or bad, right or wrong. You can't do it wrong. Now, in a moment, we're going to take just one full minute in complete silence. And I'm going to be right here continuing to work on you, but in total quiet. And when it's time to reconnect, you'll hear my voice again, and you'll know it's time. And you might find yourself dropping deeper and deeper, more and more relaxed. Just let that happen if it does. All right, here we go. Into the silence and joy. Now, very, very slowly now, become aware of the sound of my voice and all the sounds around you. And begin now to deepen your breathing and feel yourself becoming more alert, more awake, more aware, and staying very, very relaxed. Take a deep, long breath in and out now. Feel yourself becoming more alert, more awake, more aware. And take another deep, long breath in and out now. And one more time, take another deep breath in and out now, and wiggle your fingers and toes and come all the way back now. Wide awake, alert, refreshed and relaxed, coming all the way back now.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
My pleasure.
That was beautiful.
Could you feel something?
I did well, let's see, going into it all, I really felt things in my head and in my throat. That was very interesting. And even in the torso, but that moved out pretty quickly, a little tightness. That was very interesting. It was really as if there was patterns of thought forms being unraveled or dissolving. Actually, nothing is important right now. accept this beautiful connection. This connection was, it gives me a new, deeper understanding of energy healing or energy work.
Yes.
What we're doing with energy work, we can hear that term, energy work, time to do the energy work. And it's like, what is that?
Right.
This is the energy work. And I just want to share, when we were in the silence,
Yeah.
I heard, it's almost like a pulsation,
Yes.
maybe the sound of the universe. And then I thought, well, is that the sound of my heart? And I realized it's all one. Wow, that was really cool. Okay.
It's all sound. And so the more we do this type of energy work, and I love what you shared, it gave me chills, the more you will realize everything is sound and pulsation, and that movement, that wave-like pulsation, everything is made of that. And you can sometimes feel it, sometimes see it, sometimes hear it, sometimes just know it or imagine it. And this awareness becomes more and more available to us the quieter we get inside. Yeah. And so for anyone watching, if you didn't have that, and all you noticed was how all the to-do list came up or the pain came up, say yay, because this is what needs to come out, and what was coming up and moving out, and what will come, what you'll be aware of after all of the clouds move out, is what Lauren and I are talking about, is the peace and the sound and the love of the universe right there inside of you. You're one with that. But, you know, we do have things to clear. So if you felt pain, don't be alarmed. And I want everyone to know that more can actually happen after the session than during. We've seen this in a research lab. When I've gone into science research labs a few times, more benefits typically happen the day after than the day of the session, even a demo. Because once I get this vibration going, it really starts working on you on its own. And you may have, think of taking a cleanse. Let's say you wanted to cleanse your physical health, right? You would take a cleanse and you might throw up or break out in rashes or not feel so hot for 24 hours. That's how this is too. And many people do detox physically, but also emotionally and mentally. And a lot can come up very quickly. So really listen to your body, and then don't be too quick to judge, because by tomorrow or the next day, I've had some people where the healing goes on for days. So don't be too quick to judge, and honor what your body is needing. If you feel tired, rest. If you feel supercharged with energy, great, but don't overdo it. Listen and be in the middle, not the extremes.
I see a world where this is mainstream. So that's why I thank you for the work that you're doing, because this is such a deep connection, and it's connecting us to our essence. And this demo that we did today, for me personally, really allowed me to see the trappings that we get into from the thoughts or from our mind, from the mental.
Totally.
And you mentioned, I mean, I still feel really connected to it. In fact, I feel like going into silence and not even disturbing it with words. And then how do we move on the planet still connected this way?
Yeah.
And not disturb it. So earlier you said we build a relationship with it. What is that like?
Yeah, you know, I'm so glad you're bringing that up, because that's, once you do sense what's possible, everyone wants more of it. And we have to not be too hard on ourselves, because at first, especially, there is an up and down, an up and down. It's very difficult to stay on that track all the time, especially the world we're living in right now. You're sucked back down into that the mire of negativity and anger and all the drama. And so it's why it's important to have a daily practice of exactly what you said, being quiet, being still. The number one thing that will sustain this is taking a little time. It doesn't have to be hours, a little time every day to sit quietly alone, and preferably in nature, because nature emits frequencies we need and will help us stabilize as well. So if we sit quiet and alone and we listen inside, not go outside looking for answers, go inside and listen to the very thoughts and the very emotions that you're trying to avoid and distract yourself from, scrolling and running from them. You want to let them come up and be aware of them because there's a message in them for you. And most people are trying to run from the very guidance because it's uncomfortable. And we don't like that. So when people have a series of these sessions, there's a cumulative effect, and it rapidly clears out what I call the clouds that are clouding over the sunlight of your spirit. And so it's helpful to have a series of sessions, and it's then helpful to have that quiet time, to be in nature, to get barefoot on the earth, to at least listen to the sounds of nature, and to really get to know your deep inner self. That is the most important relationship you could ever develop. Yeah.
And I'm certain that what we'll find is the sound of nature. Nature is the universe in action, and we're going to find that sound within ourselves.
Yes.
I know that's down the road. Once we do a whole lot of clearing, there's a whole lot of clearing going on. But again, that's the eye on the prize. That's the beauty of doing this work, is to move out of those thoughts. If someone has a thought that's scary to deal with or not pleasant to deal with, what do you recommend? How does one just let it pass? Is it as simple as that?
That is such an important question. And I'm so glad you asked that. In fact, an email came in to me today with a woman saying, I'm afraid to close my eyes and do the healing meditation that you sent us because I'm too scared of what could happen. And this is the fastest way to deal with trauma or feeling unsafe. And many people suffer from this. And so when it's too frightening to even sit quietly or be alone or close your eyes, boy, I get it. I was like that. So you start with your eyes open. You can just look at the floor and bring your attention inward and not close your eyes. You don't need to be in the dark alone. It's helpful to have a guide like myself. It's helpful to be part of a group program with other people so you see you're not alone and you're not crazy. It's not just in your head. It's very helpful to have somebody there with you to help take you through until you feel comfortable on your own. When we learned to ride a bike, we put training wheels on there because we weren't stable and steady yet. There's no shame in getting help to become stable and steady. I did. I still do if I need it. I've learned to get over this idea that I have to do it all on my own. We don't. We need each other. But it will pass. And what you'll find is that there's nothing to be afraid of. That every thought that runs through our head, many of them aren't even true. We just give them power. And once you learn a few of the self-care techniques that I do teach, and you start to recognize where all this comes from, and you stop giving it power, you'll recognize you have more power than you know, and you'll feel more comfortable, and you'll start to feel safer all the time, not just once a lifetime. You'll feel much more stable all the time, even if the things around you, the people around you are negative or dramatic. Even if there are storms around you, you can still stay connected to that center of peace and not have such highs or such lows, and it starts to level out. It really does.
Again, the beauty of energy work, you have defined it for us in a way that we can truly understand it.
Mm,
And it's not it's not heavy lifting by any means. It's opening to a presence.
yes.
It's opening to our essence. And that's what I love about it. And it will help us clear out the worry or the doubt. You know, it's like why we give so much power to doubt or
I know.
worry more than our own dreams.
Right.
I mean, that is amazing, right? Why we do
Yeah.
that. So this is really fortifying us from the inside out.
I
It's
love.
building our energy. It's allowing us to absorb this energy. And as we sit in it, I mean, I've got goosebumps all over. I'm still feeling it.
Yeah.
And we get through the clearing. What's
Yes.
on the other side of that is being an authentic person on the planet,
Yes.
sharing our love and our light. That's the world I see.
Yes.
So again, I commend you for it.
Thank you.
You are a beautiful teacher. Your experience of this makes you a beautiful guide to assist others. And you've developed a high-speed healing, energy healing process. So you call it a day of healing. And let's talk about what this is, because this is a beautiful opportunity for people to witness and experience this for themselves, like you did. And I think it's one of the most important things that people can do for themselves is give themselves a gift like this. So what is that all about?
So the day, I call it the day of high speed healing immersion, because you're going to be immersed the entire day, and for all of the benefits that come after as well in the days after, in the field of these vibrational frequencies that you need. It's an interactive online event, my favorite event, all in one day. So especially for those of you who like to get it done quick, if you're like me, I'm very impatient. I want to drink through the fire hose as quickly as possible. So, and it's good for people who are new to the work or experienced with my work and you need a tune-up. And so we're going to spend the whole day together, over 5 hours together on Zoom online, but it's audio only. So you're going to feel very safe, very confidential. And I'm going to be teaching. I'm going to be taking questions. I'm going to be working with people deep on the call, people who feel stuck and blocked and have tried for decades and nothing's worked. I'm going to be helping you, and you will receive 2 full high-speed healing sessions, one in the morning and one in the late afternoon, evening. And this one day alone literally has turned around the entire life for hundreds and hundreds of people who really were very skeptical and didn't think anything would work for them. It's fun, it's easy, it's deep. It might shake you up. I hope I shock you and shake you up. I really do, because you're going to hear a very different understanding of health and the entire healing process. And I will be revealing the top 13 reasons that lie at the root of all pain, suffering, patterns, and symptoms. I've pretty much dialed that in. I'm going to give that to you. You will not need to keep searching, and you'll find yourself on the list. And there will be an assignment at the break, and you will start to have those unconscious reasons come up into your conscious awareness. So now you can do something about it. You're not going to be searching the rest of your life. And I'm going to be helping you as much as I can in one day to rapidly release chronic pain of all types, physical, also emotional pain like depression, anxiety, panic attacks, guilt, grief, shame. I'm going to be helping you if you've suffered from trauma, whether it's trauma from your childhood or from abuse or from accidents or injuries or a surgery that went bad. I help people with insomnia, with chronic fatigue, with burnout, with migraine headaches are also very common. Any type of pattern or pain, it could be relationship pain, it could be financial pain, but any type of symptoms, even those mysterious ones where nothing shows up on tests, the Day of Healing will really, really benefit you. So we go deep, we go as fast as we can, and I'm hoping to have every single person on that call, or by the way, even if you can't make it live, you'll get the recording and you can watch it over again and again, and more will be revealed. Everyone should be able to benefit in some way. Not everyone will have the magic wand where everything changes, but everyone should. You would have to fight me and not show up to have nothing happen, is my experience. Yeah.
It's beautiful. And again, as you said, for those who even are skeptical, this has turned out to be something quite miraculous for them.
Yeah.
We are opening to source light. That's what we're doing. And this is energy work. So regardless of what it is for specifically, it runs the whole gamut. And especially, like we've heard this recently, how do you get over heartache? This will help getting over heartache.
Oh,
This helps make the unconscious conscious. This
yes.
could be, the pain in the womb with the mother, right? The wounded child, all of it.
Right.
I mean,
Absolutely.
yeah. So this is a day to invest in yourself.
Yeah.
I would say take the day off from work if that's possible.
Yeah.
If not, you're going to get the recording and allow you to do it in that time, because the group energy that's held in that container is still very palpable.
Yeah.
And that's where it goes quantum, because of the process where you're putting someone in a state to receive. It's an open receptivity,
Yes.
right? I love it. So invest in
Yes.
yourself and take the day and immerse yourself in this.
It's really a day that can change your entire life. And the group experience is very palpable, and you'll feel, even though you won't even see these people, you will feel absolutely supported and energized when you know you're not alone, and other people, even if you're listening to the recording, you're going to feel that you are part of a lot of people who really genuinely are willing to do the energy work and to release, and that want you to heal. Because when we all heal, wow, the world changes. This type of work, you've mentioned this, Loren, that yes, it's personal, but when you do this personal energy work for yourself, you're helping everyone on the planet. There's a higher purpose to this work. You're affecting your entire lineage. And a conversation like this and the work that we do on the call, like the Day of Healing, it puts new information into the collective field that everyone is a part of. And this helps speed up and change the frequency on planet Earth. So even people who could care less about healing or working on themselves, they will be affected by this. It helps speed up and change the vibration on our planet. And this is how it harmonizes everyone and everything a little at a time. Now, of course, it helps to have people like you who are trailblazers, who are open, who are teachable. But this does affect even the people who are very closed-minded and in a lot of pain and don't know about this. So you're helping yourself, you're helping your lineage, and you're helping everyone on the planet and the planet itself harmonize the vibrational frequency that we are living in.
That's why we thank everyone for doing this incredible work and for signing up for the Day of Immersion, the Day of High-Speed Healing Immersion, because it's, again, I see that world where people are clearing it out, and it doesn't have to be painful to do it. We just have to open to the energy. So thank you so much for again, offering this for going into your own journey, for recognizing your own journey. As people go through this and clear out, on the back end, again, they're going to magnetize beautiful things in their life.
Absolutely.
Outside of the pain, it's going to be relationships, feeling good about themselves. That is what the world needs right now. And that's where everyone is focused. I think it's going to come to a point where the majority, because of the work that people are doing on this, the majority, I don't want to say majority, but the ones that are not the majority, let's see, it's almost as if the collective that's not there will surrender to love, surrender to this energy at some point.
Yes, because it is the highest power there is. And if enough people are doing this type of work and raising their vibration to love and joy and peace, at least 51%, it helps everybody lift up.
We are getting there. It may not look that way out when we look at the collective. When we look at the news, I do read the news, I admit it. I like to see all sides and rise above it and see solution energy from it. That's why I do that. But when you do look out, it could get depressing. But when we connect in this way, we do know, and that's what's so beautiful about all of it. And that's why we honor you, Debora Wayne, for this work. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Is there anything else you'd like to share before we say goodbye?
You know, I would like to close with this and just, if you find yourself suffering from anything, and you've tried a lot of things to figure it out, and nothing's worked or it hasn't worked to the degree you had hoped, and you know there's something in you that just knows there's more for you, whether you work with me or not, don't stop. Because you may not get the 5-year plan, but if you take the next small step forward, rather than be afraid to try because you've been hurt before or nothing worked before, it's so easy to just stop and get stuck in a jail cell. But if you take one more step, you don't really realize yet. You only see this much of the bigger view. Your miracle that you've been praying for could be right around the bend and you can't see it yet. So you don't give up, is what I'm saying. Don't give up hope. Don't stop. Take the next step. It doesn't have to be a leap so that you're so afraid to try. Take one step that it might feel a little uncomfortable, but anything outside your comfort zone is going to feel a little uncomfortable. And your comfort zone isn't where you want to stay. So I hope you will reach out, let me help you. It would be an honor. And if not, find someone you trust and just don't stop.
Thank you. Don't stop. It's the next step of love, step by step, the step of love. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Debora. This is a beautiful program. All the details are right here on this webpage, and we invite all of those listening and watching to check it out and get registered and sign up. We thank you. Gaia thanks you, and everyone on the planet, whether they know it or not, thanks you as well, including your higher self. Okay, thank you, Debora.
So much. Thank you for having me.
Namaste.
This has been a presentation of New Earth One Network, your home for New Earth living. Access information, education, and videos on living from the heart in unity consciousness. Visit newearth1.com.